Hey everyone, the S200s Viper is a great blaster in itself, but this one is a whole other beast. Here's my review of the CNC Metal S200s Viper by ZWQ. I'm that old nerve guy, welcome to that. The ZWQ CNC Metal Viper. This thing is looking a little bit real still. So let's take the elephant out of the room. Yes, this is basically a slide kit that is black anodized aluminum. There was also silver. I didn't choose the color of this kit, therefore I ended up putting a red barrel to give a little more color to this blaster, because I would not play with that thing outside or in public. This is calling for trouble. Honestly, this thing looked too real. I mean, the regular Viper got a real steel silhouette, but it's still quite colorful. With the black metal slide on it, this is almost alarming. Good thing it is not a replica of a real firearm. This kit was sent for me for free for review, therefore I did not choose the color of it, but I did my best so it still looked like a blaster. That taken out of the way, let's continue. So what about this kit? Well, for the kit itself, I mean, the quality of the machining and the CNC on this is outstanding. I'm almost afraid to manipulate it just to have fun with this thing. Is really beautiful. I mean, even the picture cannot give glory to this thing the way it's made. I mean, if every CNC part out there for blaster had this level of quality, we would have a lot less issue with our blaster. That said, the price on those parts is quite substantial. I think we're speaking of about $150 United States for the slide kit in itself. It does not come with the plunger and the metal trigger, which I have installed in this blaster, nor the very stiff spring that is inside. But one thing that this CNC metal kit gives you on this blaster are those fiber optic sights, which are really nice, and the little fiber doesn't move and are very clear, very bright. This thing is really cool. All the ergonomic that they updated from the Fire Rat to the Viper are even better with this thing, because the Viper was a crazy blaster as it was, but I was kind of afraid to put too much of a power, too much of a strong spring inside, so I would break the shell. This thing is pretty awesome, even with a stiff spring, because you can still prime it from the top, and this spring is very stiff. In it, you have that new priming hook at the rear, which is kind of integrated into the blaster itself. If you don't like this hook, there was a little piece originally in that part. You can just leave the little like filler piece that they put in there when you don't use the hook, so the blaster look like a regular Viper without the hook at the rear. But this hook is outstanding. I had to put a little lubrication pretty much everywhere since the assembly video, because the assembly was quite easy on that thing. Everything is so well made on the part. As a matter of fact, they are too well made in some part. That front of the slide here, that little front piece of the slide here, while being very good, the original stock barrel didn't fit through. That's why I ended up cutting myself a worker barrel, a red worker barrel, to put into this blaster, and I'm glad I did it, because this looked amazing. Plus the action, the only little hiccup I had maybe during the video was it felt like the metal slide was too heavy for the return spring. That was not true, it was me. Those two front screws were a little too tight. I had to tune it a little when I did lubrication, and now I can hold it up and it's closing very frankly, very good. This thing works, plus the seal is quite good on this blaster. I mean, this kit brings the Viper to a whole other level. This thing is really outstanding. I mean, this old kit I mean, over the top slide kit plus the trigger and the plunger that they sent me a pair of spring, and I put this stiffer one inside, which feel pretty much on par with what I have on my fire rod, except the ease of prime of this blaster is just magical. So before we continue, let's go for a small chronograph test and a fire test on this beauty, and then we'll come back to have a last word on this magnificent blaster kit. Chrono test for the CNC Viper. I am going to start with worker HE dart, and then I'm going to switch to Dragon dart to see how it improved the performance. Let's go. Well, that is impressive. Really, 193 maximum, 175 minimum, with an average of 187.3 FPS on worker HE dart. My God, this thing is impressive. Let's go with Dragon dart, and then I'm gonna have an average of both together. It's going to give us a realistic average of what this thing can do in the whole range of dart available on the market. Wow! Well, this was pretty much all over 200 FPS. I mean, this thing is really impressive. It cranked up our max shot to 207 and bring up the average to 195.1. This is really, really a primary class blaster. Well, in the end, this CNC Viper kit, I mean, this is, like that, an outstanding blaster. I mean, it is crazy accurate, and the ergonomic with the little optic fiber sight helps a lot. I mean, I had easy target acquisition with my fire rod. This thing is a breeze. I mean, this is even better. Plus, the performance. Pretty outstanding to have over 180 FPS on worker HE dart and over 200 FPS on Dragon dart on such a small pistol with such a smooth prime. And the seal in that thing, I mean, the seal is just really, really, really good. I mean, this thing is an awesome design, an outstanding blaster, plus the ease of installation of this kit make it a worthy value. I know it's a bit pricey because you need to put that over the original blaster, but this is a whole other level. I mean, honestly, if I put Dragon dart in that thing, I have something as accurate and pretty much the same power as my Harrier. Yeah, okay, this one will end up being maybe a tad more expensive, but the craftsmanship on those parts, this is something the hobby needed. Maybe in brighter color, of course. An orange slide, a red slide, a blue slide would have been a lot better on this thing. I agree. But CNC metal like that, it is really what we need in the hobby to up the performance and the reliability of our blaster. We are used to internal that are CNC metal, but this external slide plus this integrated prime hook that lines up everything, and when you pull on it, it really pulls the spring straight and don't force from side to side. This is an ingenious design. More blasters should have it like that. Yes, I ended up putting my custom length barrel. This was really like the only hiccups plus puzzle I had, because during the making of this blaster, the original 150mm barrel was a bit too tight around the internal piece of the slide, but I ended up taking another standard 16 by 13mm worker barrel that I put inside that was working freely. My only concern is because I cut it a bit too long. If you cut a custom barrel or choose a custom barrel for this blaster, don't go over 160mm. You will have trouble fitting your dart gate inside with the barrel already on the dart gate. The way I had to install it, I had to install the dart gate inside and then shove the barrel from the front, because my barrel was 8mm too long, and that really gets in your way. Really, this thing is a beauty. I mean, amazing performance, amazing functionality. The ergonomics are right there. You can't do any better than that. Honestly, the best pistol blaster I ever had in my hand was the Fire Rat, and it just went second. This thing is on a whole other level. ZWQ, you really did a home run with this CNC Viper kit. My God, this thing is awesome. I think that's it for this video. In the meantime, you can always follow me on Facebook and Instagram at @ThatOldNerfGuy. Please leave a like and comment, subscribe for more content. Don't forget to hit that bell to notify for my latest video. This was Dave Fatag. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.